Welcome to Designer Discussions with Jason, Maria, and Mirjam. Today, Jason is going to talk to us about the latest email marketing tips.
Welcome to the Designer Discussions podcast with
Jason,
Mirjam,
and Maria, where we talk about marketing, PR, and business advice for design professionals.
if you all look back at episode 19, I had talked a lot about email marketing, and that was an NKBA presentation I did, and it went over a lot of open rates and how to do good email titles and all that. But what I'm going to talk today is about bringing a lot of that information up to date. So really what's huge right now is email automation. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that, which is a good thing, but you want to be mindful of when you automate a lot of this, you want to also personalize it as well, because the key to good open rates is really connecting with your audience. And so if you automate everything, it's going to be generic in nature and you won't have as good of email open rates as you can. But a lot of the top email service providers like MailChimp, Constant Contact, Aweber, a lot of those out there, they now have email automation where you can do like the welcome emails. If you are going to use email automation, it's a first set up a workflow on how you want this all to happen so it can help save you time in the long run. So if you have a welcome email, what you want to do, like I said, personalize it. And one of the things I had talked about in episode 19 is to segment your audience after you've done email for a while. You may want to have a few welcome emails for specific types of audiences. So you may want to have one for, if you're a designer or remodeler, you may want to have one for your prospects. You may want to have a different welcome email if you're sending email out to any of the vendors that you work with, any of the clients you've had in the past. You want to segment your list. That is vital if you're going to use email automation, because that helps you to personalize it just a little more than just having the generic email out there. Work on the workflow first. So with any of the tools you have out there, they have where you could set up the workflow. If you have a certain email type, or if you have a welcome email that you want to send out to your clients, use AI to create that welcome message, but then add your own flavor, your own brand voice into that. Don't just use exactly what AI gives you. If you're talking to millennials, or if you're talking to baby boomers, or if you're talking to the luxury market, whoever that is for you, whoever that audience is for you, make sure that your content is speaking to that audience. So when you use the AI automation and they hand you the welcome message, you can tailor it to your audience. So once you have that welcome email workflow, now you want to do follow-up workflows. One way to help you with open rates is to send out emails every so often that ask your audience, are they getting the type of information that they want to receive? Individuals are your audience that may not have responded in the past. They may actually respond now to let you know, yes, I was reading it at first, but now I'm not, and this is why. And so that XYZ can help you create another workflow just for that specific audience to help get the email open rates up. Or that can let you know you may need to change certain aspects of how you're writing your email as well. But you can also look at who's not opening your email. And if you see a trend over time that you see the same people are not opening up your email, this is why I had also mentioned whatever email service provider you have, you need to get the paid version, not just the free version, because in the paid version, you'll see all of the analytics, who's opening them, who's opening your email, when they're opening, and all. And most of the email service providers, they start at about $15, $20 a month. And that will all depend on how big your audience is. But we're not talking about a lot of money that you have to spend monthly. But you need to have the paid, not the free, because when I talk about segmenting your audience. On the free version, you will not be able to segment because you can only send out one email to one audience, and that's it. On the paid, you can segment the audience, and you can also look at the stats and the analytics, which you really need to understand who's opening your email and not. And if you're going to use email marketing as one of your marketing avenues, you need to have the analytics because that's going to tell you what's working and what's not. As you're looking at the analytics to see who's opening the email, when they're opening, if you see a trend of the same individuals or the same people in your audience are not opening emails, you may want to delete them from your email list because obviously they were added on either by you or they added themselves and they were interested at first, but they're not interested now. If you see over time, 6 months, 8 months that they're not opening and it's the same individuals not opening your email, just delete them. They may not be interested anymore. So just take them off your list. And that will also help out with the open rates because now you're sending it to only the people that are interested. Now, you don't have to completely purge the list. If you see trends of individuals that are not opening, those are the ones you want to take off. But if you saw somebody open one last month, but they haven't opened it in a few months, that may be a trigger for you to see what did I write in that email or what was in that email that may have triggered certain people to open it over others. That's where also looking at the analytics helps because you should see a trend of open rates that are almost around the same. So if you have an open rate last month of about 15%, and then the month before that was 18%, and then the month before that was 16%. If you have a month where it was a drastic change, you were getting 18, 15, 20, and then all of a sudden you saw an open rate of like 60%, and that was an anomaly. You didn't see it any other place. You need to really investigate what happened in that specific email to see what did you talk about? What did you address and who in your audience opened that email? So that could tell you, okay, well, I may need to segment my list just for these specific people for this topic for what I wrote about to send out. That's some information that you're going to really need to investigate. It does not take a lot of time. Email automation is very popular because it saves you time. But if you want to be successful at email marketing, you need to spend a little time, I would say about an hour to a month. That's it. You only need to spend an hour to a month. Because if you're sending out an email newsletter, say once a month, even if you just spend an hour a month, right before you send off the next newsletter, look at what happened in the past, what resonated with your audience in the past, just to see what you can do now. And then over time, once you've done that for about a month or two, no more than about 3 months, now you can start to automate that process. Now you can use the email automation to help you with the framework of the type of emails you want to send. So you could create a template. And if, for instance, in your emails, recipes are really hitting your audience the right way, you may want to automate to say for the AI to have it for each of the months, have a different recipe lined up. So for September, you may already have the AI look at recipe around that month where it could be Labor Day. In November, recipe around the Thanksgiving holiday. So you're lining up automations that help you with the topics that resonate with your audience, which I say, for instance, recipes. But whatever that may be for you, it may be a project. So you may want to have a framework around AI and generating project description. Now you already have the framework written out. Now, all you got to head in there, just edit it just a little bit to add your own flavor, your own brand voice. And now you've actually personalized it and it's helped save you time because the AI did the hard work of doing the research and the framework. You've come in behind it to add in your brand voice, personalized for your audience, and then sending it out. That's what I really want to talk about today was email automation because that's huge right now. Reference episode 19. Because I talked a lot about email open rates. I talked a lot about what your title or email header should be. I talked a lot about a lot of this information that will help get you started. So now following up, on email automation, which is huge right now to help save you time, and how you need to segment the list to get your open rates right and to get action from the emails that you send out. Okay. So if you have any questions on any of that, reach out to us. We'll be happy to answer them. And we hope to hear from you in 2 weeks on Designer Discussions.
Did you know that your client learns 80% of what they will know about you before they ever contact you? Now imagine when your potential client searches for the perfect kitchen remodel. Will they find you or your competition? We can help you make sure it's you. Our Designer Discussions Academy membership with your favorite podcast hosts provide weekly steps to simplify your marketing and boost your business. Sign up at designerdiscussions.com or follow the link in the show notes. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Designer Discussions and all of the helpful information. Subscribe to our podcast, leave us a review, and share it with your friends. We look forward to having you back next week. For more information on the podcast and the marketing studio, visit designerdiscussions.com and follow us on social media.